Dear respected teacher, dear respected elder, sisters and brothers, dear beloved community, today today it's the 26th of October of the year 2025. We are at the beginning of our 3-month rains retreat. This retreat is a tradition that has started since the Buddha time for more than 2,600 years. For 3 months during the rain season, the Buddha and his monastic disciples stayed in the monasteries, and they didn't go out of the boundaries. At that time, they begged for food every day. They walked to villages to beg for food and to avoid stepping on insects that came out from the earth. They stopped even the alms rounds, and they stayed in the monastery, and the lay people supported them by bringing them food every day. And it's considered the annual monastic retreat. And only in Plum village, we open this retreat to our lay friends, to you. And many of you also stayed with us for 3 months. And you practice like us. You participate in all the activities like us, like sitting meditation, walking meditation, Dharma sharing, listening to the Dharma talks, and even cooking with us. I remember this year in the cooking retreat, many of our friends wanted to cook with the sisters in the kitchen. And it was too complicated, so they couldn't, and they were sad. So this winter, you have the chance to be with us in the kitchen. And you will see all the corners. You will know all our secret recipes. And our teacher has maintained this tradition in winter. This is the season when it rains the most and it's very cold. And whatever we did, like leading retreats or visiting our families, we all came back for this retreat, and it's always been like big family reunion, and we stay together, very cozy, warm in the monastery. And it's always a very happy time, joyful time. Like in the West is like Christmas, and in Asia it's like Lunar New Year. And before we start the retreat, there are many things we have to do to prepare, and some of you have seen 2 weeks before we started the retreat, we had lots of meetings, and we agree on the boundaries for the retreat, and we announced it. In Vietnamese, this retreat is called An Cư. An Cư means dwelling peacefully. And we had a lot to do to prepare, but as soon as the ceremony is over, we can feel the energy. Everyone is calm and peaceful. And we want to start the first day of the retreat with peace, joy, and happiness. And during this retreat, we don't go out. Whenever we need to go out for the Sangha service or to see the doctor, we ask for permission. And this is a way to remind us to see whether it's really necessary to go out. We can go out when we must, when we have to. And each of us, we are aware that this is the time of dwelling peacefully where we are. That's why each of us, we limit our going out, even through social media. I remember in the past there was a sister who was so committed to the practice that she didn't check email during the 3 months. And I think she's lucky she doesn't have some important responsibility in the Sangha. And among the preparation, what we had to do to prepare was to have meetings and change rooms. All the sisters and brothers change room. Before the winter retreat, we changed our responsibilities, our rotation teams, and it was very joyful, very exciting. Nobody missed those meetings. Even though we are very busy, we never missed those meetings. And some friends who were there during those 2 weeks, they were very surprised to see us. You change room every year? Yes, this is the practice of releasing. So we don't say that this is my room. And we know that we change every year. So this is also the time of releasing unnecessary belongings. If we have too much chocolate in the bed box, we also release. And in the dining hall of the new Hamlet, it was like a garage sale, but a garage sale for free. We release and then we walked around. If something we need, we can take. And I saw chocolates, candies, sweets. And I took some for my mentees. And we clean. It's the deep cleaning in the monastic quarter. And we also have a counting stick ceremony before the main ceremony. We announced the boundaries, and last Thursday, many of you were there when we all gathered in the Upper Hamlet to have the taking refuge ceremony, and it's the main ceremony. And in that ceremony, we take refuge face to face in front of a monastic. What is different in this retreat is we stay in the monastery, we don't go out. We don't go out the boundaries, and we take refuge. It means that during 3 months, we listen to the guidance of the Sangha. We are face to face. We take refuge with a monastic who represents the Sangha. And during the 3 months, we take refuge in the Sangha. We practice the same practice with the Sangha. We become one with the Sangha to flow as a river, and we listen to the guidance and the shining light. This is the only time for the monastics to shine light and to receive shining light. Those who stay for the whole 3 months, you will hear more about this practice, and you will have the chance to practice it too. And last Thursday, I was deeply moved when I saw our elders, brothers and sisters. They were there for us to take refuge in. I remember when I was a novice, during my first years, my elders, brothers and sisters were still young, just a little bit older than me and most of the sisters here. And Thầy told us that I want to train you to become loving and compassionate Shubhas. Shubhas mean senior monastics, senior old monastics. And last Thursday, I looked at my eldest brother and sisters, and I saw that Thầy succeeded. And our eldest monastics also succeeded. We are very lucky to have Sister Trưng Không, Sister Trưng Đức, Sister Gina, Thầy Pháp Ứng to be here with us. I see that we are the luckiest monastics in all Plum village monasteries. They were our sisters Trưng Đức and Trưng Không. They were here since the last winter retreat 37 years ago. And we all can benefit a lot from their guidance, from their teachings, and from their energy of peace, of love. The first time when we had the winter retreat in the new Hamlet, after we have the new Hamlet, Thầy faxed to us the ceremonies of counting sticks and face-to-face taking refuge ceremony to us to inaugurate, to open, to start our winter retreat. And at that time, each Hamlet had our own ceremonies separately, and we start to get together in the upper Hamlet with all the Hamlets since the year 2000 or 2001. And the last winter retreats, when Thầy was there, he always shared with us that Thầy is very grateful with the Buddha because he started this tradition. And thanks to it, Thầy has the chance to stay in the monastery with his children for the whole period of 3 months, and Thầy doesn't need to travel and teach anywhere. It was a great happiness for Thầy, and when we heard it, we understood something more. Because I remember the first time when we had the counting stick ceremony in the new Hamlet, it happened in the floating cloud meditation hall. Now it's the exhibition hall. And that winter there were 4 venerable nuns coming from Vietnam, 4 Shuba. They were the heads of big communities of nuns in Vietnam. And when we had the counting stick ceremony, I saw the Shubas whispering to each other, "What is it? I've never seen this ceremony." They spent 40, 50 years in their monastic life and they never saw that ceremony. And one of them, who was the master of the Vinaya, she said, "Yes, there is in the Vinaya." To confirm that, yes, it's in the Vinaya. And because at the Buddha's time, there was no computer for registration, there was no paper and pen, and all the monastic, they traveled, they walked and begged for food, and when it was time for the 3-month retreat, they just joined a community nearby. And sometimes there were hundreds of them, and they didn't know each other. And the way to organize, to know how many of them, so that the lay people knew and supported them and brought food to them. So the way to know how many of them was to count the stick. Each person take a stick and then they collected the sticks and they know how many people. And in the counting stick ceremony, we could visualize and we could feel how it was difficult to organize a rain retreat at the Buddha's time. And any monk, any nun, any monastic could join any community. They didn't need to ask for permission and waited for the reply, "Yes, you can join us," or something like that. They just joined and they practiced together, and they were supported by the lay friends. And we could feel the compassion, the love and compassion of the Buddha and of the elders, monastics who organized. And after so many years as a monastic, Thầy saw how beneficial it was, a rain retreat for him and for others, and Thầy was full of gratitude for the Buddha, the founder of that tradition. And many people, many monastics were surprised why only in Plum village we have that counting stick ceremony. And Thầy was well known as a progressist, teacher. But when we understood that Thầy was very grateful for this tradition, and Thầy restored that tradition for us to see how it was hard to start that tradition and to maintain that tradition during the Buddha's time. And it was maintained through generations and generations until today. And thanks to that, we can enjoy, we can benefit from this tradition. And especially in the West, not all the monastics have the chance to participate in a 3-month retreat. There are many temples where there are only 1 or 2 monastics, and they don't have the chance to study, to deepen their studies and practice with everything they have to do to take care of the temple. And we remember Sister Như Quang, who is a dear sister to us. She got ordained by another teacher. She lives in Strasbourg now. And every year she joined us. But she could not join us for the whole 3 months. And she had to leave after 1 month and 1 month and a half. And every year she cried. And she said, I'm not lucky enough like you, and I cannot participate to the whole retreat. And I got ordained in Plum Village, and every year we have the rain retreat, and for me it's normal, and I took it for granted. And thanks to Sister Như Quang, I realized that, oh, yes, we need to be lucky to be able to attend, to participate this retreat. And then years pass by. In our communities, we see that when conditions are not sufficient, some of us, we cannot participate because of health, because of our parents' health. We need to leave before the end of the retreat, or we cannot attend at all. We cannot at all attend the retreat. And slowly with time, we realize that it's a great fortune for us to be able to be here during the 3 months. And I also remember the first time when we had the taking refuge ceremony with our teacher. There were many venerable monks and nuns coming from Vietnam. And Thầy, our teacher, was the first one who took refuge in the abbot and abbesses. And Thầy touched the earth in front of us. And everyone was shocked. Because a Zen master, we think that a Zen master would touch the earth before the Buddha, but not before his students. And we were very embarrassed. We were so shocked. Everyone was so shocked, and automatically, with our instinct, we touched the earth back to Thầy. And after so many years of practice, we saw that Thầy wholeheartedly, he took refuge in the Sangha. And Thầy, many times Thầy shared with us that his understanding on the Buddha, on the Sangha, continue to evaluate, to change. When during the first year when he first became a novice, and then with years, his understanding and practice, and his practice and understanding continue to grow. Who is the Buddha? And what is the Sangha? And we were also very, very touched. I remember the last taking refuge ceremony with Thai. Thai also expressed his commitment, his aspiration for that winter retreat. And Thai said that Thai made the vow to cultivate his love for his students. Thai made the vow to love his students equally. And we are in that meditation hall. We knew the great compassion of our teacher. Anyone who came to Plum Village and who saw our teacher, that person could feel his energy of love and compassion. And he still made the vow to cultivate love, to grow his love, and to love his students equally, because he was aware that those who had the chance to be close to Thai were very lucky, but those who didn't have the chance to be close to Thai may have felt that Thai must love the ones who were close to him more than to me. Everyone could feel Thai's love. Everyone knew that Thai loves me. I know, I can feel Thai's love for me. But in the community, sometimes we compare and we think that Thai may love my sister more than me. And Thai made that vow to let us know that Thai wants to love everyone equally. Don't worry. And looking back, we saw that in all the rain retreat, Thai invited us to practice, to love each other, to build siblinghood. Like Thai wanted to train a generation of shubas, of senior monastics, of loving and compassionate senior monastics. Thai didn't have the intention to train us to know by heart all the sutras of the Buddha, all the teachings of the Buddha. Thai just wanted to train us to become loving and compassionate practitioners, monastics and lay practitioners, whoever is committed in the practice. And I remember, if I remember well, in the year 2010, before we started the winter retreat, did you forget to invite the bell? Every 15 minutes we will listen to the bell. And before we started the winter retreat, we had a monastic day, and Thai reminded us how to prepare for the winter retreat. And Thai said that as carpenters, they must know how to make tables, chairs. As masons, they must know how to build a wall, a house. And as practitioners, we must know to do those 4 things. And we need to focus on this practice the next 3 months. It was before the winter retreat. And the 4 things we must know. The first thing is to practice the practice of releasing. Second, the practice of transforming. Suffering. The third practice is creating joy. And the fourth, restoring communication. So Thai reminded us to practice releasing during the 3-month retreat. And before we started the retreat, as I mentioned, we already practiced releasing unnecessary belongings. We released rooms, we released roommates. But what is most difficult is to release our ideas, our prejudice, our knots. First of all, we need to practice with our body to release the tension. During this 3-month retreat, whenever we feel any tension in our body, we release the tension. And if we are not using concrete practicing like mindful breathing, mindful walking, we won't be aware of any tension in our body. The tension in the body is easier to see, to observe, because we can feel it, we can touch it. So it's easier than releasing ideas. So first of all, we need to be able to practice it. And the sounds of the bell, the practice of sitting meditation, walking meditation help us do it. And on Thursday, Brother Pháp Ứng, my elder brother, showed us the sign of 100%. We are committed in the practice with 100% or more of our body, our mind, our heart. So the first thing, we need to stick to our mindful breathing whenever we do during the day. When we walk, when we cook, when we wash pots, when we sanitize, when we clean. And all our lay friends would practice the same thing with the monastics. And we want to help us focus our attention, our mindfulness. We want walk while walk. We want talk when we walk. And if together, the whole community, we practice it, it will be very easy. We can, last evening, I sat with my mentees. All of you who stay for the whole retreat, you are in small groups with your mentors. And every week, mentors and mentees, we sit together. And last evening I sat with my mentees and we promised each other to remind each other. Whenever we see one of us running or walking without mindfulness, and the other one will we will do this sign. And we will smile to each other and appreciate those reminders. Because this is the foundation. If we don't stick to our mindful breathing, mindful steps, there's no way we can be aware of the tension in our body in order to release it. And if we are not able to release the tension, the physical tension, it would be too difficult for us to release prejudice, irritation, anger, prejudice. And if we are not able to release, it would be very difficult for us to transform our suffering and do and practice other things like creating joy, restoring communication. So releasing is the fundamental practice, and we can succeed it or not. It depends on our mindful breathing and mindful steps. And for the monastics, we are very excited and very happy for this retreat. It's like a beginning anew for us. When we change rooms, roommates, and rotation, we change everything. And we have the feeling that we can practice beginning anew. Everything is new. The room, the roommates, the teammates. And we have we start a new and beautiful environment and relationship. And it's the chance for us to practice wholeheartedly and not just with the form. We are together, we join the activities. But when we have sitting meditation, we are committed 100% of our body and mind to be with ourselves, to be present with ourselves, not to be serious like, okay, this is sitting meditation, I want to attain some enlightenment. No, we just need to be with ourselves, to be present, and to feel, do I have any tension in my body? Do I have any pain, any knots in my body? And then we can go further. Do I have any knots with my sisters and brothers? And you know, every year when we change roommates and teammates, we can observe and see that, oh, this year my heart is bigger than last year because I have more room in my heart for other sisters. Our practice is to enlarge our circle. In the community life, we always have some affinity with someone or some a small group, and our practice is to make the circle bigger and bigger. Sometimes we prefer to be in the same team with that sister. Our tendency is to choose our buddies. But every time we observe and we practice to make the circle bigger, we have more space in our heart. And the one who is happy in the community is the one who has a big heart, who is happy, who is joyful with many people, with everyone. So when we have a bigger heart, it's not for our brothers and sisters, it's for ourselves. We can have joy, we can enjoy each other's presence with many, many members in the spiritual family. And so the way we organize before the winter retreat, everything we did and everything we do is to help us cultivate love. And during these 3 months, the result of our practice is seen, clearly seen in our relationship with others. And when there's a line in the evening chant. Before we have sitting meditation in the evening, and a sister chants some lines. And I love the line, the first lines, stably seated under the Bodhi tree, body, speech and mind are one in stillness, free from views of right and wrong. When we are still attached to the views of right and wrong, in the community life, it's very clear. When I'm attached to what is right, what is wrong, I see right. I can feel right away. There's some. It will lead to some struggling, some fight, some disharmony. But when we try to understand the situation with our heart and try to find the best thing for our community, for our sister, and the situation transforms right away. So releasing is also the practice of releasing our ideas of right and wrong. When we are attached to what is right and wrong, we can feel right away a tension in our body. Tension on the shoulders, tension on the face. And if we are mindful enough, and if we are lucky, there's sounds of the bell or clock chimes, and we have to stop, and we practice 100% listening to the sound of the bell or the clock chimes, and then we notice the tension on the shoulders, on our face. And if we can release these tensions, we can also feel that, my mind is lighter also. Body and mind are one. And we can feel right away. We feel lighter. And when we are capable to release thoughts, running thoughts, ideas, and then we have space, we can dwell in the present moment, and we have space to recognize the beauty of the fall season. I see that the last few weeks, our community is enjoying every day. And every day we see how the colors change. It's amazing. We are very lucky. Many sisters who come from Vietnam, this is the first time they see autumn, because in Asia we don't have autumn. And when I see my sisters who see autumn for the first time and how they are surprised and love the colors, the leaves, the trees, seeing them enjoy autumn, I remind myself to look at autumn like the first time I see it with new eyes. We have the habit to take things for granted. And if I continue to run in my thoughts, I don't have space in my mind, in my heart, to receive all this beauty. If I'm full of worries and what should our community do, what should we do, what should I do in this winter retreat, I have no space. I remember during the my first winter retreats, I was so excited and wholehearted that the community, the Sangha has a schedule, and then I have my own schedule. All the tiny slot between meals and the next activity, I squeeze in study, sutra study, or reading Thai's books. And my schedule, I planned ahead. Very, very beautiful schedule of someone who practices 100% or 200%. And every time when something happens and I cannot follow my own schedule, I was so frustrated. I suffered. Oh, I cannot. This is time to read Thai's books. And that sister came to me and asked me to do this and do that. Sometimes I was very angry with that sister. And after those experiences, I just dropped. I don't plan anymore. I just follow the Sangha schedule, and it's good enough, and whatever happens to me, I receive it with peace, with a smile. And I stop dividing. This is my time. This is the time I spent for the Sangha. My time, I want to use my time to do what I like. Looking at the pictures and classify my pictures in my photo album, and there are many things we like to do. So this is for my time, for me. And then, because Thai taught us to organize our days in such a way that there's balance between practice, study, playing, and service. So I made my schedule very balanced with color. Service is this color, practice is this color, and calculate very well. There's a balance in number of hours for practice, number of hours for playing. It was so well organized, and I could never follow. And then I had to change. Anything I do, I practice coming back to my mindful breathing. And so even if I cook for the Sangha and if I follow my breathing, I practice mindfulness to strengthen, to water the seeds of peace, to strengthen solidity in me. So this is also the time for me, for my practice. And if I have to go out of the boundaries because of service, to do something for the Sangha, and I go out the boundaries with mindful breathing, I follow my breathing when I drove the car, even when I had to go far to Bordeaux or to Paris. And if I go with my mindful breathing, it means that I continue my practice exactly like when I'm in the boundaries, and I don't feel frustrated that, I'm committed to stay in the monastery, but now I have to cross the boundaries to go because of the Sangha. So when I bring the practice with me, and I bring the Sangha with me, and then I see that this is also the time for me, for my practice, and I don't feel frustrated. I see that whether I cross the boundaries or I'm within the boundaries, if I maintain my practice, and then there's no difference, and I'm still in the monastery, practicing with the Sangha. And slowly I can remove all the frustrations and the discrimination between my own time or the time I spent for the Sangha or Sangha service or being in the boundaries or outside the boundaries. I share with you my practice, but it doesn't mean that I encourage you to go to Cafe in Duras and bring the Sangha and the mindful breathing with you to the Cafe in Duras. And because everyone, we all are together, and it's cold, so we are indoor. In the summer, we stay in the tents, and we had many activities outside. But in this 3 month retreat, we all stay indoor. So there's lots of rubbing. We say rubbing from morning to gà nhau chứ không phải đánh nhau em. From morning to evening, we are together. And have you seen all the brother and sister who came up here to chant it? I was so moved. I was so moved to see how big the monastic community is, because in summer we also came here and chanted, but half of us was here. And now we are more crowded. And so when we are always together, and then it's very easy to cause irritation or disharmony or small conflicts. And that is why Thầy added the fourth point, restoring communication, is very important. The practice of beginning anew, of reconciling, restoring communication is very important during the 3 month retreat. And being aware of the great fortune that we have to be here for 3 months, we want to have joy and happiness every day. This is a joy, this is a happy time for each of us. And to have joy and happiness, we will need to use all the practices that are offered. The practice of sitting meditation, walking meditation, all the practices in the schedule, and the practice of beginning anew, the practice of shining light. This is the opportunity for us to make good use of many practices that are offered to cultivate joy, happiness, because we don't want to waste this opportunity to be together for 3 months. And I would like to invite our elders, Shiko, to sing us a song. I mentioned our eldest monastics to you, so I would like to invite Shiko, who's been here since the first winter retreat, the first year of Plum Village and the first winter retreat. And Shiko is, for those who don't know yet, Shiko is 87 years old, and Shiko loves to sing. Thầy called Shiko the singing nun.
Quand chic dans les prés, les feuilles, c'est la fin de l'été. Les feuilles d'automne emportées par le vent, en ronde monotone, tombent en tourbillonnant. Châtaigne, nuage dans le ciel, s'étire, s'étire, nuage dans le ciel, s'étire comme une aile. Les feuilles d'automne emportées par le vent, en ronde monotone, tombent en tourbillonnant. Châtaignes dans les bois se fondent, châtaignes dans les bois se fondent sous nos pas. Les feuilles d'automne emportées par le vent, en ronde monotone, tombent en tourbillonnant. Et ce chant dans mon cœur murmure, murmure. Et ce chant dans mon cœur murmure le bonheur. Les feuilles d'automne emportées par le vent, en ronde monotone, tombent en tourbillonnant. Et en vietnamien.
En vietnamien.
Souvent on dit thầy Thanh Từ. Quand ils rencontrent thầy, tous les deux parlent vietnamien. Et thầy Thanh Từ dit gặp nhau cười ha ha. We meet each other, we laugh ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Birth and death will not disturb me. Ha ha ha. Một đóa ngô đồng rơi, có hay chăng người ơi? Một lá ngô đồng rơi, thu đẹp đã về rồi. Ngàn chiếc lá còn rơi, đỏ áo hay vàng tươi, ngàn chiếc lá rơi rơi, bay vèo ngập cả trời. Lờ lững trên trời cao, chiếu lên nước hồ xanh. Lờ lững trên trời cao, mây bạc còn dừng thành. Ngàn chiếc lá còn rơi, đỏ áo hay vàng tươi, ngàn chiếc lá rơi rơi, bay vèo ngập cả trời. Niềm thương rừng vi lô quanh hiu, sáo lên ru ồn ai. Rừng vi lô quanh hiu, nắng vàng ngập ruộng dài. Ngàn chiếc lá còn rơi, hay vàng tươi, ngàn chiếc lá rơi rơi, bay vèo ngập cả trời. Niềm thương trong lòng tôi thắm tươi không nhạt phai. Niềm thương trong lòng tôi thu đẹp vẫn còn hoài. Ngàn chiếc lá còn rơi, đỏ áo hay vàng tươi, ngàn chiếc lá rơi rơi, bay vèo ngập cả trời.
Thank you, Shiko. Thank you, everyone. The sunshine has joined us for the walking meditation and for the whole day. Let's enjoy the whole day together.